There is no power greater on earth than God's peace in our hearts. Bottom line, His peace conquers everything. You see, there are earthly powers, they cannot prevail over it. All through history, men and women have had to lay down their lives for the cause of Christ. When He calls one to do something for Him, He also gives the grace and the peace to do the work. No earthly nor supernatural power can take the peace of God out of one's heart. Nothing. You might sorrow, but it won't be as others. It serves as a great comfort to those who are carrying great burdens and responsibilities. I cannot imagine living life without the peace of God within me. And His peace, although life's trauma moments may mark the soul, and you may go through nightmare rides of faith, there's always a blessing at the end of it when you serve God. And not only that, but He helps you to bear the burdens for others through your own experiences. You simply care more because you've been through more. I'll tell you a personal story. My husband and I were expecting our second child. I was 22 weeks pregnant, and we'd felt the baby move. I was in maternity clothes. There was a strong heartbeat. I go for a routine visit, and suddenly the doctor abruptly says, "Miss Holley, your baby's dead. You're going to the hospital." We were shocked and devastated, to say the least. So long story short, we go to the hospital. I spent 4 days there. It was very traumatic. Come home, go back to playing the organ at church and being the pastor's wife, and no one said a word. No one said, "I'm sorry." Nothing. It was as if the child never existed. That hurt even more. Well, we eventually moved from there and went to pastor another church. And the day came when that child was supposed to have been born. The birthday. I was really sorrowful that day. I had a lot of grief. I cried and cried. I cried so much I didn't want to see anybody. And suddenly, the Spirit of the Lord spoke to me. In a sweet little voice, He said, "Gayla, if you give up your desire to have another child, I will give you children all over the world." And the statement was so surprising, I suddenly stopped crying, and in shock, I just said, "Okay, God, okay." And I made a deal with Him that day. I gave up my desire to have another child. I gave that baby to the Lord. I sacrificed my desire for His promise. And then the grief left my heart, and my peace returned, and I was able to go forward. Fast forward about 15 years. I'm sitting at a red light. We had just finished packing another container of food for an African country, and I was tired. I was going home, and suddenly at the red light, the Spirit of the Lord spoke to me again, and He said, "Didn't I promise I would give you children all over the world?" And suddenly, my expression changed in joy and tears and just incredible understanding hit me. Yes, you did, and yes, you kept your word. I have held babies and hugged children and kissed them and comforted them and fed them and clothed them in so many countries, I can't even believe it. It came to pass. He kept His word to me. And the affliction that we went through gave us great compassion for the lives of others in need. That's just one of the things that happened in our lives that brought us to a place of understanding human need, how much they need us to comfort them in their loss. 2 Corinthians 1:4 says, He comforts us in our affliction so that we may comfort those who are in affliction through the comfort we ourselves have that we have received from God. Your peace today will be fulfilled when you walk in the power of it and you allow God to be God and say, okay, do this your way, Lord, not mine, yours. Amazing things will happen for your life. Stop fretting. Ask him for his word. Ask him for his promise. He's got one. This affliction isn't for nothing. There is a reason. And when he gives it, you'll be amazed in your lifetime how he causes that to come to pass. I am sure when I get to heaven, not only will we hold our child, but we will hold the many lives of children who have died, that we had a part in trying to save their life. There's a power in that. Stay strong today, my friend. Know that the God of heaven and earth has made a reason for your life and your affliction. Peace.